I just noticed my right arm is so swole compared to my left one.
Looking jacked, brother.
I look like Quagmire in Family.
Well, I was going to say like a special Popeye, but yeah.
No, it's Quagmire when he discovers the internet.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm just gonna go and check my mail over there.
You been lifting weights?
No, I don't think it.
Have you guys seen that CNBC video about cars where once you buy a brand new car from the dealership, the moment that you drive it off the lot, it will lose 10% of its value immediately, even if you kept it for less than a day and you kept it in perfect minty fresh condition. And why this happens is because when you sell a car, the market assumes that you got a 10% discount off the MSRP purchase price, which was normal before the pandemic. So the market just kind of automatically factors in that 10% discount into the resale value, even if your dealership didn't give you any discount to begin with. Plus, when you go to resell your car, the dealerships will typically only offer the wholesale price of the car, not the suggested retail from the manufacturer. And when you combine all of those factors into one, by the end of that first year, a new car will have lost 20% of its value, followed by 13% in the second and third year. And by the end of year 3, most cars will have lost 50% of their value. But because there were less cars made in 2020 because of the pandemic, there's also less cars 3 years later in 2023 and 2024. That's also why a lot of cars still retained 60% of their values today. But what's still confusing to me is, how come cars still hold their value when like half a dozen people drive those cars off the lot for test driving and they add like 100 extra miles on them? These are the questions that keep me up at night. So today, I drove around with my friend Lucky Lopez, who has an automotive YouTube channel, to talk about car prices, when new car prices will drop, and why car insurance rates are skyrocketing.
I wanted to ask about the dealerships. What's going on?
So the car market has pretty much done a 180 in the last 12 months. About a year ago, used car prices were at an all-time high. Now we're seeing prices go down on average anywhere from 1.5 to 2.5% every single month. And it's been steady, and it's actually speeding up as demand is dwindling and supply is building up. But the big change is when it comes to new car pricing. Inventory has kind of hit an all-time high. I'm sure you'll put the graph up here. During the pandemic, we're running around 3 to 7 days on average of how many cars are in the market. Now we're hovering around anywhere from 75 to 80 days.
I actually do have that statistic right here.
Yeah.
Right now, the latest data shows there's 1 million cars that are unsold this year as compared to last year. Inventory is now 71 days, and during the pandemic, it was 3 to 7 days.
Also, brands like Toyota, Honda, Lexus, Kia, and Land Rover have the lowest amount of cars available by days supply, and Mazda, Volvo, Ram, Infiniti, and Jeep have the highest levels of supply.
Toyota, Honda flat out said that they are not going to increase their supply. They'd rather make a lower amount of vehicles and keep the prices high. So they've kind of went with a different route. Toyota pretty much dropped all EVs. They're not going to be doing any type of EVs. They're just going to focus on hybrids. But a lot of the other manufacturers, like, the Chevy, Lexus, BMW, they decided to do the exact same thing, make less cars, but keep the prices high. But now with interest rates for a new car averaging 8%, nobody can afford them. And on top of that, with skyrocketing insurance prices, a lot of these luxury cars are taking the biggest hit. I think last month they dropped 8 to 10% month over month when it comes to the luxury sector. But what's interesting is now that we're seeing all these new car manufacturers kind of hold their guns and change their ideas of how to buy and sell cars, we're starting to see dealers actually roll out tons of incentives. This usually doesn't come out until they build up quite a bit of supply.
Okay, so I'm gonna go through this list right now, and you tell me if you'd buy any of these cars at these prices. Because there's a 2023 Dodge Charger for $60,000 at 0% rate, and the term 72 months. Is that a good deal?
No.
Fiat 500X, $34,000, 0% down.
No, I'd never buy a new Fiat.
Subaru Solterra Electric, $49,000.
New EVs are the hardest to be hit. I'm sure that the incentives are going to get even higher.
Ford Edge, $44,600 for 60 months.
At 0%?
Yeah.
It's actually not too bad. If I had to buy a regular family car, I'd probably get something like that.
Nissan Titan, $64,500, 0% down, 60 months.
No, their resale falls off a cliff. I wouldn't ever buy one.
Hyundai Santa Fe, $30,000, 0%, 60 months.
Wow, those things fall through. I remember they were going for 10, 15K over MSRP during the pandemic. Now they're offering 0% interest. It's crazy.
Hyundai Tucson, $36,900 as well. 0%, 60 months.
Nah, same thing. I would wait.
What about Ford Escape for $31,800? 0% for 48 months.
Nah, it's not worth it.
Lincoln Nautilus, $46,000.
Oh, jeez, no, definitely not.
Ford Mach-E electric, $48,795.
No, because the used market on those ones, you can buy one a year old for like the low 30s, so I wouldn't even waste my time with that one.
What about Ford Bronco Sport, $40,000?
I love the Broncos, but the Sports are the cheapest ones, and I've seen the resale on those things absolutely crash. They're going about 60% of what they were going for new a year ago.
Ford Edge, $39,000.
That's not too bad. It's a mid-size SUV.
Ford Explorer, $53,600.
No.
Ford Expedition, $73,555.
Oh my God. This is another thing, like I said, they raise the prices so this way they can kind of make less cars but make more gross. I think that they're going to go the Tesla route, and they're actually going to start dropping the overall price of their vehicles.
What about the Nissan Murano, $39,000?
Junk. I would never buy one of those.
Nissan Rogue.
Same thing, junk.
Nissan Altima.
Those are good cars, but
for
the resale...
$30,000.
No. That's like the, if I have really bad credit and I need a car, the Nissan Altima is the one for you.
Wait, why is the 2024 Nissan Altima cheaper by $600?
That's what I'm saying, is during the pandemic, they started raising up the prices of average cars, and now they're starting to see some of the newer cars that are 1 year newer being cheaper than the older models.
That's insane. And then there's also the Mitsubishi Outlander for $32,890.
No, the Mitsubishis are okay, but not $32K for an Outlander.
Mazda CX-5, $30,000, 60 months.
Now, Mazda's stepping it up. I think that's actually a pretty good deal if you could afford the higher payment. Like I said, you capture the interest. What a lot of these manufacturers are doing is they're giving you that 0% interest so they can sell you the car at full retail instead of giving you a discount. So some manufacturers are dropping the actual price of the vehicle, or other ones are using captive lending like the 0% to try to offset their lack of sales to trick people into coming in and buying the cars. And a lot of times those programs that you see right there are for tier 1 customers. So people that think they have good credit, maybe a 650, 675, are going to find out that they're not going to qualify for that 0% interest. Or just remember that if you're getting 0% interest, you're not getting a good price.
So you're saying that it might sometimes be even better to pay $10,000 less for the MSRP but have a higher interest rate.
Yeah, I'd rather get a discount or an incentive off the actual sales price, close the deal at maybe 8%, because then you know in about a year from now you could refinance it and get better interest. But like I said, if you're going to be doing this, they're going to cap you and they're going to add some more fees on there. So these prices right now are just the MSRP prices. I'm sure when you get in there, they're going to add a bunch of fluff.
So they want how much over on this one?
10K over MSRP, which is kind of crappy because I know we can literally drive to either Phoenix or California and get it for MSRP.
We're in a Dark Horse Mustang. We're test driving it. V8.
V8, 500 horsepower, 6-speed manual, Bembo brakes. And it was kind of funny. We walked up and they had over $10,000 MSRP on it. And the second I looked at it, I'm like, no, we're just going to go somewhere else because I'm not going to pay over MSRP. First thing they asked, what is if we can get it to you for MSRP? And then I knew that was right from the get-go, we'd be good to go.
The downshift sounds so good. I also wanted to ask you about EVs because I saw the Audi GT e-tron from the Avengers Endgame, and there's one for sale, brand new, for $160,000 here in Vegas. But in the used market, 2022 with barely any miles is like $60,000.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of the companies overestimated the actual demand of EVs. Like, we're in a Porsche dealership right now and you can see all these Taycans just sitting here. When they came out, I remember everybody wanted them and the values were actually just extremely high. That was another car that was selling over MSRP. But now, like you said, we're getting them almost 50% off what they actually went for. Tesla, to keep up with their demand, has actually lowered the price of their vehicles 4 times. And a lot of these other manufacturers are putting out the biggest rebates on actual EVs. So if you're looking at buying an electric vehicle, now is the time, because almost all of them are going to give you 0%, or they're giving you thousands of dollars off the actual price because they're just not selling. If you go to any major franchise store, the one car that they have really in supply is the actual EV models because they're just not selling. The demand's not there.
Also, the average car insurance is going way, way up, and you said that your car insurance rate literally doubled.
Mine actually tripled. I was paying $287 a month for a 2021 Audi R8. After I had it for the first year, it went up to $600. And just last month, my policy renewed and it jumped all the way up to $1,000, which was ridiculous. And so when I asked Progressive why this was, they didn't have anything. They just said that this is the new rate because of all the damage, the fires, the thefts. And this is another thing that's pricing people out of the car market, and another reason why new cars are not selling, because insurance has gotten absolutely ridiculous. Now, I know you said that overall across the United States, it went up about 20%. Here in Nevada, I saw one of the reports saying that we went up over 58% on average when it came to insurance prices, one of the highest. And the big thing is in California. California actually has a law that rejects insurance companies from raising premiums too fast. And so what's happening now is big companies like Geico, State Farm, Allstate are actually leaving the state because they can't make enough money off of premiums to cover all the damages from all the riots, the homeless fires, the regular forest fires, and the floods. And so now they're actually walking away. So a lot of Californians are freaking out because all of a sudden they're told that they're not getting a premium raise. They're actually just have to go shopping for another insurance company. And that's with homes and cars. That was so good.
That doesn't seem fair. Like, why does the rest of the country have to pay for, I don't know, California? Like, that doesn't make sense.
Yeah, when I asked them that most of the catastrophic flooding and fires and hurricanes, everything else was in California and Florida, what does that have to do in Vegas?
Right.
Now, I have no accidents, I have no insurance claims, and I have no speeding tickets. And they could not give me a reason why my insurance is more. Now, we knew that insurance was going to hike because every insurance cycle is about 1 to 2 years. And what happens is as people have accidents, file claims, that's how they readjust their insurance. And so unfortunately, we're 1 year behind. So remember, during the pandemic, car values went up, parts prices went up, and the actual cost of fixing your car went up. So we're right now paying for 2021 and 2022 pricing. So hopefully by next year, 2023 pricing will be priced into it, and this way it'll bring our insurance down. But unfortunately right now, most Americans have to suffer through one of the highest insurance hikes that they've ever seen.
What's the best thing to do? Is it to buy a car this year? Is it wait till next year? Wait till interest rates drop? What's the play?
I mean, it really goes to the person's budget and what they really need. My advice, if you don't need a brand new car and you got something that's decent now, just keep it chugging along to wait for the market to stabilize. Now, if you're looking for a specific, like one of the cars you're talking about that's offering 0% interest and incentives, now may be the time to get it because there may be additional benefits for you purchasing the car today. So my advice is kind of split. If you don't need it, wait, because from when we made our last video till now, a lot has changed. You know, we're talking about people basically giving up on over MSRPs and selling stuff under market. And I think it's just going to continue this trend coming into 2024. I hate to sound like a broken record, but my advice is just to be patient, wait, make sure your credit and your finances in order. And the biggest thing I'm going to tell you right now, double check the insurance cost, because you're going to get a rude awakening when you figure out, okay, I can afford a $500 payment, I can afford the interest, I can afford the down payment, and then you come to find out that your budget for your insurance was $200 and it winds up being like $600 a month.
I hope you got some value out of this. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Smash the like button, subscribe if you haven't already. Don't forget to grab your free stocks, links are down below, and then go track them automatically with the spreadsheet link down below in my Patreon. Love you. Thank you so much for watching this video. I'd love to see you back here on Monday and Friday, sometimes a Wednesday. See you soon. Bye-bye.